Yo, what's going on, boys? Collision here. Welcome to another video. Today, guys, we are going to be talking about... Oh, man, this is so late in the year. We're going to be talking about our passing settings. Now, I could have done this a lot sooner in the year. I didn't. I'm sorry. But this was requested, and actually, I think it was a great time to be requested here on the channel because I also wanted to mention in this video about blue passing, which has kind of been a new meta buzzword here in the community recently, especially since the recent MCS Madden Bowl event. So I wanted to go over it, talk about it. I wanted to talk about different releases, talk about how there really, in my opinion, isn't a bad release in this game. One of my pet peeves is going on MuttGG and say, or hear people talk about how somebody has a bad release. I just simply think that's just never the case. It's like saying, I don't like this topping on pizza. It's like, dude, you might not, but everyone else does. It's just kind of like one of those things. So we'll talk about that later. But I wanted to go over my settings first. A lot of you guys may roll your eyes at my settings and what I have to say to try and justify it. But guys, I personally use placement and power. I know a lot of people do placement and accuracy. I'll talk about this in a moment, but I wanted to go over my max reticle distance, which is near. I wanted to talk about my reticle speed, which is 3. So obviously right here, guys, this is a very restricted freeform. At kind of base value, it looks like a very restricted, tight pass leading or freeforming setting, and it kind of is. And I wanted to talk about what I do in game to kind of push my passing restrictions even further. So if I want to have near and 3, so I'm very tight and close to my base freeform or my base pass lead value. If I need to break free and kind of push the ball further outside of this near passing distance, we're going to go over that and what I do to try to combat it. Obviously, to begin, everything kind of plays a factor here. Your quarterback, his throw power, his release type. Are you guys using gunslinger? Are you guys using pass lead elite or set feed lead? Those type of abilities. Everything kind of plays. Do you guys like your throwing style with gunslinger or without it? Obviously, traditional 4, which has kind of been the meta all year, it can be really, really good. It's obviously, and I know I was just talking about worst and best releases. In my opinion, I think traditional 4 is kind of the best without any type of gunslinger ability. With gunslinger, I personally think Gen 2 is the best. That's just me. A lot of people hate Gen 2. I love it if you have gunslinger. And if there was a QB right now who had that for, you know, 0 AP, talking about gunslinger, and I could have set feet lead and all that, I would be using a Gen 2 quarterback. But currently I'm using Doug Williams, who has traditional 4, just because it helps with my AP setup, which all matters. So kind of to begin, I'm going to go ahead and hop into practice, guys, and we're going to talk about what I like to do with my passing type. And then later in the video, we're going to be talking about blue accuracies and placement and accuracy. Now, before I cut, I will like to say, I use placement and power because, guys, my point of view is I play Mutt, and this may not be the right answer. I'm just telling you guys why I use it. But pretty quickly in the year, guys, we always get a quarterback that is going to hit his thresholds, and I don't have to worry about placement, accuracy, and all these things because the game will do it for me because I have an accuracy threshold met. So it just takes away one extra thing I need to worry about when throwing. I don't have to worry about timing or whatever placement accuracy even is. I just don't use it. I never felt the need to. I've noticed everyone else does. I love just placement and power. It's one less thing I need to worry about. And with these settings, I know I'm my personal best with it. I have played with far and I have played with high sensitivities, and I've played for weeks on end with them. I think that they're good too, but this is just a personal preference type of setting, and I want to show you guys why I like near and low speed, and you guys can be the judge of it. You guys can rock it, you guys can avoid it like a plague. It's completely up to you. These type of settings are very much just personal preference. So guys, let's go ahead and get onto the virtual practice field, and let's go ahead and talk about why I like these settings. See you guys in a moment. Peace. Hey, yo, they gave the go to 96. Yeah, I'm biased. All right, guys, honestly, to start, I think I might just do like offense only. That way you guys can like understand where I'm trying to aim with my freeforms and kind of break down what I am like looking for and what my thought process is going in with near and 3. Alrighty, guys, so now we are here on the practice field. Now, gentlemen, I will say, I know a lot of you guys are far beyond this point. If you guys want to go ahead and cut to the blue passing and what all that has to entail, go ahead and click on the part of the video. I'll go ahead and leave a timestamp up just so you guys don't have to wait around for that. You guys can go and check out that portion. But for you guys who are maybe new or interested into why I run my pass settings the way I do, this part of the video is going to be for you guys. So to begin, I just want to talk about pass leading, free forming, high forming, what all of these kind of keywords mean, and what everyone's trying to mention when they come across mentioning these type of throwing styles. So basically, a simple pass lead is just going to be using your left stick in combination with a bullet or a lob throw. And you're really not doing anything too crazy with free forming or anything like that. You're just doing a simple pass lead, and that's just going to be aiming your left stick in the direction you want to throw, like a bullet or a lob. So if I have X here on a go route and I want to go ahead and stretch it out and just do a pass lead up, I'm just going to go ahead and put my left stick forward around 12 o'clock and go ahead and do a bullet. And you guys see underneath my player, there's kind of like a gray shadow circle. That is the radius in which the normal pass lead with the left stick, that's kind of like its cap. So it's like when you're doing a pass lead, that circle is where the pass lead will end up depending on what direction you are leading it. So basically, I'll go ahead and show it to you guys one more time. If I want to pass lead to the right, I'll go ahead and put my left stick maybe at like a 2 o'clock, and you guys see I get that angle on it where, I'm sorry, I clicked on and missed the catch, but you guys see the ball's now at the, or the reticle rather, is at the right side of that shadow underneath the player. So basically, that is a pass lead. Now, a free form is when you're going to hold left trigger and your left stick on a pass lead to then move your reticle outside of that shadow arc. So basically, you're just saying, hey, let's try and push the throw out a little further, get outside of that pass lead into the free form distance. Now, for me, I like my free form being fairly close to that shadow circle, that pass lead circle. So that's why I have my settings set to near, and I have my sensitivity set to slow, or 3, because I can kind of aim it. And with traditional 4, my release I'm using right now, I like this speed. It's really good. It always goes where I know I want it. So that's kind of what I mean. It is personal preference, but basically a pass lead, you guys are going to see, that's going to kind of put the orange reticle right outside the box. Now, I know like right there, it doesn't look like much, right? Because I obviously run a near setting. I don't want it to go too far. It's just not how I like to play. But if there ever is a scenario where I'm like, dude, I got to get this ball further outside of that pass leading circle, what I will do in those situations is I'm going to do a high form pass. Now, a high form pass is going to be your left trigger and your left bumper in combination with one another. Yes, you can do both at the same time. It's very important to know this. Now, I'm going to show you guys what this looks like on a go route again, just to keep it consistent. This is now going to be a high ball and a free form together with the pass lead going up, okay? When you're free forming, you're always going to be using that left stick too, just like a pass lead. It's just going to allow you to stretch it out further. So if I go ahead and do a high form, I hold left trigger and LB, you guys are going to see that reticle goes far outside the box. Now, I know obviously it's at collision. It's because you have a high ball, it's going to look further. That is true. It does look a little further, but it also does stretch it out further than what your normal near and 3 sensitivity that I have set does for me. So, you know, for example, if I'm doing like a cover 3 beater, let's just say I had X on a post and B on a comeback, and I had Y here on the streak to pull the middle third. Let's just say this works, right? If there's ever a situation where, like on the right side of the field, the outside third is kind of playing a little more upfield, he's not really biting down as much on the comeback as I thought he would, that's when I'll go ahead and free form over him, or I'm sorry, high form. Very important, high form over him. That way I can stretch it even further. I've talked about this in some of my guides as well, even in my gameplays, so I don't want to, you know, talk about it too much, but that is going to be a key part if you guys do want to use my settings. But most of the time when I make guides and all that, I humbly say this, I try to make guides where you're not even really going to have to worry about that. Things will get open. So please keep this in mind, but maybe every once in a while you are going to have to do a high form. Typically when I do high forms, they're going to be in the red zone where I know the user is going to be very important. So like, for example, if I go ahead and move this, let's say around the 15, right? If you guys go watch my recent video, the one I did against K-Mac, that first game against the Packers, you guys are going to see I love putting my tight end on a go, because if the user is sitting like in the A gap here, like in the dollar blitz, I can simply snap and freeform this to the right. And 9 times out of 10, I'm getting a crazy catch and the user is too far down to make a play on it. You know, depending on your opponent, obviously. But you guys are going to have great success here, especially on these throws like that, where you get that great high catch, because when you do that high form, the user can't pick it off nearly as easy as just a normal bullet or normal free form with just your left stick. So please keep this in mind. You have a pass lead, a free form, and a high form. And those are the 3 major throwing styles that players like to use in this game. Now, one final thing I would like to mention, Or actually, I think I already did mention it. Yeah, I already mentioned about the high form. Now, going to blue passing, because this is kind of the new thing that's taking off on Twitter and on Twitch. Basically, guys, I don't have this in a live com because I had to change my guy's ability, but I'll go ahead and talk over it. Pretty much, guys, blue passing is going to be easily seen if you guys are using placement and accuracy. And what the blue indicates is that you're using a Deadeye ability. So that can be pocket Deadeye, it can be roaming Deadeye. I'm sure there's another one like sideline Deadeye or inside. I wouldn't recommend those. I'll just recommend pocket or roaming. But basically, the blue is a Deadeye color, where if you have a great accuracy quarterback, you guys are always pretty much going to get a green, great or good accuracy, and that's fine. That you're usually going to get a good throw on those, and you're going to be able to make the catch. But what's good about the blue accuracies is you guys are going to see in this footage, it's almost as if when you do a normal pass lead without freeform, let's say I have roaming Deadeye, I'm rolling out to the sideline, it's going to force the ball to go more on its own to the sideline, where you might even see on some of the videos when I'm rolling out, when I do a normal pass lead to the sideline, it kind of has a little hiccup in like the game and it forces it even further to the sideline. But these Deadeye throws actually cause more catch pass breakup completions. And what I mean by that is, I'm sure you guys have had it before against the deep out KOs where you catch it on the sideline and then the opponent breaks it up, and so you drop it but you still get a completion. That these blue, quote unquote, blue passing things, from my labbing and what I've seen other guys talk about and watching other players, it causes that to happen more. So it's really good against deep out KO. Is it an absolute mandatory thing? No. I think a lot of guys are calling it right now, at least from what I've seen. They're like, oh man, guys, you got to change it up. This is absolutely insane. It's really good. But guys, we've been playing all year against these deep out KOs. I've made entire videos on how to avoid them completely with certain routes and all that. My offense, the doubles, Y-flex, I hate to plug. That does so good against deep out KO. I don't even remember it's a thing anymore. It's just one of those things, guys. We can avoid this without blue, so don't feel pressured to buy the new quarterback or anything like that. It's just not necessary. But if you guys want to, absolutely go do it. It's super nice. It's super good, especially against deep out KO. Now, there is no graphic of a blue passing meter if you guys are using placement and power. The graphic of the blue meter only happens on placement and accuracy, but you guys will see at the bottom, you still get the Deadeye, and I think you're pretty good. I'm not going to go completely say, yeah, it'll be fine. I guess, like, if I was going to court, I would say it only works for placement and accuracy, but I think you'll be good. Just try it out. Every single quarterback is going to have pocket Deadeye. If you want to lab, just take off your set feed lead for a moment and go into the lab and then try it out. You guys will see you'll get the Deadeye. So, gentlemen, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Hope you guys got an understanding of what I like to have in my freeform settings and all that. And if you guys were here for the blue passing meta and what that even means, I hope you guys got a good glimpse of what I'm talking about and what it is, why a lot of guys are looking for this on their quarterbacks and just running roaming Deadeye and things like that. So, gentlemen, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take it easy, fellas. Peace.